All aboard! Well, hello and welcome to this latest edition of Shaky Hands Shed, where we'll be unboxing an eBay box of shite. Well, being honest with you, some of them aren't too bad. They're just old and need some attention. And to be honest, it was the right price. I gave £40 for the full box. And as you'll see in a minute, there's quite a bit in the box. And I've got more than 4 working locos with little bits of attention needed. So you can say, at a tenner a loco, I'm on a winner. And all the rest is just gravy, so yeah. Done quite well out of it. Reason being, the person that advertised it, I love going for these because they're a bit of a mystery. They were terrible blurred photos. You couldn't see what were going on in them, but I had a rough idea what were there, and I thought, take a gamble. Some people won't, so you lose a lot of the potential bidders there. Like, good photos always pay off. And this guy, he'd not even bothered taking them out of the box they were laying down on to take photos at different angles. He just more or less put them down on the ground, one side up, and just photographed them from slightly different positions without moving anything. So, really, it was sort of a blind bid. Which is good sometimes. You can trip yourself up sometimes, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. And here we are, we're opening the box, taking the first bits out. The first bit's a body shell, I'm not too sure. I've not identified it as yet. But I can look for a chassis for that at a later date. But it's got some circuitry board up there for lighting, so if anything that may be useful on another model. So that's to the side. It looks like some chemicals have ate the shell anyway, so there's a box of goodies as well. There's windows in there, there's bogies, there's flat wagons, there's all sorts of bits and pieces, coupling parts, there's bits and pieces of everything in there really. Short of nothing. And coming up next is it's a weird little Italian loco in N-gauge on a plinth. He's just chucked that in, I think. I didn't see it on the advert. Mind you, the photos were that bad, it were probably there. Just sort of, guesswork. Anyway, first one up, it's a Santa Fe coach. I've got no others, and it's a steam era looking at the design of it, so I'll probably have no use for it. But it's something there, isn't it? And this weird beastie, if anybody could identify it, that's more knowledgeable on American railways than me, that'd be superb. It looks like a motorised caboose or workshop. I wouldn't have full knowledge. It's an actual separate motorised thing, and the motor works, so I'll probably get it up and running. But if anybody knows what it is, and if you could supply supplier if it were made, or if it were a kit, that'd be superb. But it's an unusual little beastie for sure. And coming up next, let's have a look. As I'm there, they're coming out of the paper at the moment, whatever's up next. And it's just a motorised chassis. And in need of a body. I'll have to identify what it is and get a shell for it. It's a Bachmann, I think, so I've not checked if motor's running on that. That's one I'll have to strip and work on, I suppose. But hopefully somewhere down the line should work. What's coming up next, you may ask? There we go. I've got a Santa Fe locomotive. I think this one was an Athern blue box. I'd guess, if I remember rightly. If I show the bottom of it, it'll tell me. I'm not really showing the bottom yet. But it's Athern looking. Or no. It may have been Walters, I don't know. But another bit of a gap. So what's coming up next? It's just around. And here we have a Rio Grande F3B unit. Quite nice, somebody's painted it and deckled it. Looks pretty good. And I do have the A unit to go to that, that'll come up. It's in this boxing. You can see there a little chip of the Athern motor mountings dropped out. Sad, I'm putting the box out of the way so I can have space for unboxing. And let's see what's up next. There we go, unwrapping. It's like Christmas looking at an Athern. I can't remember whether this was a powered one or not, but it looks like a U-30. And here's we have an H10-44, I think it is, in Rio Grande colours. That needs a roof repair, but otherwise it's quite sound. You can see the roof's been smashed at the rear, so I'll have to repair that with plastic card. But it's all doable. I'll cut all the roof out and put a new roof section in. All doable. And this one's is it a Baltimore and Ohio or whatever? Or is it Santa Fe, I think? A Santa Fe F3B unit. And that one's an Athern. You can tell by the 4 holes for the motor mount. What's up next? Oh, guesswork. Another Rock Island. So I've got one powered and one unpowered, but to be perfectly honest, with these you can power the unpowered units. I didn't look whether it had plastic or metal wheels on it. Usually dummy locos to cut costs down, and they're a non-runner. They do plastic wheels and plastic parts, no motor. That could be the motorised one because it's metal wheels. I didn't look proper if the other one were... Yeah, definitely motorised. You can see the flywheel in there. Although the motor mounts have perished, so it'll need new motor mounts. I think I might as well order a bag full of them. and seeing what's up next. It's like Christmas, this is. And here we go, Rio Grande. And it's an F3 air unit. And there you are. There's the F3B unit to go with it. Basically, the B unit was the same as a locomotive. All the engine and the running gear, same as the locomotive, except without the expense of having a cab on it. And the controls went from your main air unit through jumper cables, and it was like an extra locomotive connected to the locomotive and all controlled by one driver. And here we go, another B unit. I've got quite a few B units in this one, and only the one A unit. I think I've got 3 B units and 1 A unit. That A unit may well get flush glaze in it, because I quite like it. It's a nice little model, so it may well receive flush glaze. I've got the flush glazing to do it. In fact, I've got enough flush glazing for about another 4 of them. And God knows what I'll do with this. That one's a steam loco tanker, and to be quite honest, I haven't got the steam loco that goes with it. So really, it's quite surplus to requirements, unless I use it as scenery somewhere, or if I make something like a diorama. I don't know. It's definitely not something I'd really use. It may even go back on eBay for someone that will use it. Anyway, let's have a check if some of them will work. I've got me. I should make something better than that. For God's sake. And I couldn't really find the contacts. I think someone's broken a wire on this. I tried through the wheels and it weren't having it through wheels. I think it's because the circuitry's been snapped. So I think I stripped down, resoldered the wire on that snapped off from the contacts, and I think it'd run, to be honest. And if it's normal for, I think it's a Bachmann, that circuit board up the top, all those electronics will just be for flashing the lights. I have another Bachmann with a circuit board like that, and all it does is flash the hazard lights on top of a Union Pacific loco I have. But yeah, it should be quite interesting to find out what that's the chassis of. And there we go. It's a non-runner. I couldn't quite happily say that one was a non-runner. Let's have a look at this one. I think this one was a runner. Although not from the wheels, I don't think. Or was it? Yeah, it did. There we go. It's off, lit up and running. So we can safely say that Bachmann, Bachmann. Yeah. Oh no, that's a Walthers. That one, I think. And next we'll try the Athern Rock Island. Normally Athern run without any question. These don't, because the motor mounts have broken, and part of the connection for the motor electronically, it connects to the chassis, and the motor mounts have to hold it down on it, so if the motor mounts have rotted, there's no connection. So what we'll have to do is take it out and give it a run. It's spat apart over my modelling room as well, and I don't know where it's gone. So I'll either have to remake, reordered, or search for that. Happy days. And here we go. I cannot categorically say. There we are. It runs. No ifs, no buts. It's an Ather and it's gonna run. There you go. Kicked up. No problem. You can say without hesitation they'll run. Ather, they just good old rock solid technology. No, it's not all the bullshit of these overcomplicated new stuff. They just work. Granted, you don't have all the DCC in them, but even these, they can be converted reasonably simple to DCC. And there's one, it spat one of the drive couplings out. So I'll either need a new one of them now or I don't know. Whatever. And here we are, checking another one. Or did we already check this? I don't know. It's an Athern anyway. And the motor maybe, I don't know, motor may be wrong. And there we go, fired up. No worries. Normal rock steady Athern. Love them. Next up on the block, it's a Bachmann power car, a B unit, the F3 B unit, one of them, and this one's a powered version, and I think that one run. Or maybe it didn't, I don't know. Can't remember now. Oh yeah, what's up next? What I've got to say while we've time. Oh, that was it. The little motorised caboose or workshop. That kicked up 100%. That should be an interesting little project. If I can get that going again, I'd love it. I love the idea of it. It's a cracking little thing. Absolutely crackers. And as I say, all them for 40 quid, you can only ever be on a winner trig. Swear. Drink up trig, we're going home. Anyway, here's a couple of snapshots, and while I'm doing it, can I say thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Even better if you hit the bell notification so you get notifications. And dog so good is if you give me a thumbs up. Bye for now, folks.